And we're back.
Once again,
Yeah.
we are back.
For part 2 of this new series. Which, if people didn't watch the first part, you should watch the first part.
You should also watch the first series we did. I mean, I know I'm still watching the Super episodes, but I mean, where we got in the timeline is fantastical.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened.
But this is not that series. This is the other series.
This is a new series. This is the what if the Saiyans didn't need their tails?
Yeah, to go Zaru. Last time, OG Jungle didn't necessarily change all that much. Really wasn't a problem in some aspects of it. Yeah.
Oolong got the heck out of Dodge because of Goku wrecking the castle, but he came back.
Yeah. Well, actually, he didn't come back. He just fucked off, really. Yeah, he only showed up for during the 21st, and then he just left.
And instead of Roshi perving on Bulma all the time, he does have a serious conversation with her, because in the middle of the training, Goku transformed and leveled some forest.
But I want to say this: the tournament stage and area was not destroyed by Piccolo.
No, it wasn't.
No. So there was a 24th World Martial Arts tournament 3 years after that.
What was the legitimate reason why the tournament wasn't?
Because it had to be rebuilt.
Right, but
out of universe, Toriyama might have just forgotten about it.
But I was thinking also our Goku is a little stronger than what he is in canon. Yeah,
he doesn't show. I wouldn't say he shows up to the 24th. I say he just does. He decides not to. He won one. He's fine with that. Instead, Krillin wins the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just give a win here for him.
Yep, good old Krillin.
Good old Costa.
The Krill dog.
But after everything said about that, we head into Z.
Oh boy, and after the 5-year time skip, during the 5-year time skip,
we went through that. We already went through that last time.
Yeah, but for our viewers from maybe they didn't see the first part, Gohan got some grade 8 practice with his dad, didn't he?
Not yet, because he's still a bit young, but give it time. Maybe like in 1 or 2 years he can start doing that.
Until then, they keep him out of the full moon.
Yep.
And sometimes Goku even goes out during full moon nights in like wastelands just to practice control.
And he's already got pretty much good control over his Uzaru power. So, and would be a weird sight to see a gi covered Uzaru.
Well, see, that's why I was thinking, like, if he's gonna have if him as an Uzaru, right? He's got practice with the form. Did Kami, given that he knows that Goku's training like this?
Of course, he closed beamed him and gave him a stretchy suit.
I'm saying, since Goku picks up techniques, did he pick up the clothes beam from Kami?
Maybe.
Just a fun little thought there.
He might just decide, oh, that seems fun.
That seems fun and useful. Well, why not?
Now we get into Z. Like normal, Goku heading to
Kame House.
Yeah, Kame House. And with his son. Yeah. Yep,
with a son that nobody knows about, so it is just as shocking as in canon.
Yeah, that's true. And Krillin would probably love the fact that he was like, I won a tournament when you went around. Yeah. Yeah.
But since then, I've just been training with Master Roshi.
But they do have a concern about Gohan's tail, and Goku's like, oh, don't worry about that. When he's old enough, he'll learn how to control it.
And you know what? He's got this, I'd like to think that as a loving sort of thing, like, Chi-Chi knitted him a scarf that he could put over his eyes if he's ever up when the full moon is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little memento of his mother.
Yep.
In addition to the, in my opinion, the best uniform of Kid Gohan. I love that Piccolo makes him his own sort of Namekian garb, training outfit. But I love Kid Gohan in that little hat with the Dragon Ball on top of it.
Yeah,
he's got the symbol. That's my favorite uniform of Gohan. So he's got that, and he's also got just like an extra little scarf around his neck that, and it's going towards the day, so he doesn't need that.
I don't even think there's a full moon. It depends. I don't think we ever actually said if there was a full moon that night. But anyway, on the island.
No, next full moon isn't for a few weeks, because it's a few weeks after Piccolo began his training.
Okay.
With Gohan, the Gohan transformed.
So. Well, yeah, there's 1 month. But anyway, they're having a fun time, reminiscing, catching up, and that's when Reddit shows up.
And all the exposition happens with Raditz saying, "Yeah, you're a Saiyan. That's why you transform when the full moon happens. Yeah, just like your brat there. That's why you have a tail like me."
Yeah, and Raditz doesn't. Yeah, because Goku has a tail. It's like, no. Oh, what happened to your tail? Is that none of that? Goku has a tail because you can't get rid of the Saiyan tails. They just regrow back, even if you chop it off.
I mean. Yeah, it's just an add-on thing. Plus, Goku as a kid learned how to use it, as opposed to it becoming a weakness. So, grinning a little bit.
Probably the same scene would go with Krillin obviously getting bitch slapped into Kame House.
Yes, but since you added the caveat of Krillin winning the 24th...
Oh no, we'll get to that. I had an idea for that, but same...
okay.
Yeah, so... Obviously, now, here's the thing. Goku does have that Ikari form, but he can't activate it, willy-nilly like that. He can't just turn it on and off. It's something...
Right, he has to have that emotional...
Yeah.
He has to have that sort of rage boost type situation.
Now, Gohan being snatched up by his brother, I mean, that could be enough of an emotional reaction. What do you think?
I'm not too sure, because I would think that I would think no, because the way that Raditz puts it, whereas Goku has to kill at least 100 Earthlings before the end of the day in order to get his son back, he's got no reason to believe that Raditz is going to harm the child. He's just kidnapping the child, which, I mean, he's still not happy about that.
Yeah,
but currently he's shaking off a gut punch from the strong older brother, and all the while Piccolo is in the shadows, kind of.
Same case where Raditz would still go off with Gohan. But this time, Krillin, when Piccolo shows up and, Goku... Krillin wants to come too, because he won a tournament. He's probably been training a bit more because of that. Having a bit more motivation, like, oh, he's the world champion now, he should... So, I think he would come in this instance out of like a, I'm coming too, with a slightly more...
You're my best friend, this is your son, and you're gonna need some backup.
And Piccolo would probably be like, you just get in the way. But Goku would be, no, we need all the help we can get.
And Goku's all for it.
Yeah, Piccolo has to just deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would think that, all three of them make it to Raditz, and Gohan is nowhere to be seen. And this is where Raditz would kind of egg his brother on. And kind of spark Ikari, but not like he doesn't pull the form out yet.
I'll wait a bit, because obviously the Gohan's in the ship at the moment.
Right.
So
the
initial part of the initial part with the Raditz fight would play out relatively the same, maybe slightly more in Z Team's favor because of Krillin's there as an extra pair of hands.
Yeah, I can see after the double Sunday almost hits Goku and takes out Piccolo's arm. Yeah, Krillin would be there to try to attack Raditz, but then Raditz has to, beat him away.
Or try to grab his tail, knowing that that's weakness point of Saiyan.
Yeah, so he would try to do that, but it wouldn't work. Oh,
yeah,
more coffee.
Raditz would just be, kick Krillin away. Do you think, you think that would work? Try to grab my tail, would you?
Do you really think that was going to work, Baldy?
And then Goku grabs Raditz's tail.
I would think he'd be shaking off the double Sunday.
Yeah,
Because of how close it was. But I feel like we would still get the plan that Piccolo has.
Yeah,
with the special beam cannon. The difference here is that Goku has the extra set of hands to help him in this 1v1.
Yeah.
In the form of Krillin.
He does. And you know what? I think during this little fight here would be something where Raditz tries to grabs Goku's tail, thinking, okay, this I can subdue my brother this way. Not realizing that Goku just does not have that weakness, which would surprise him, but also somewhat, you would somewhat be like, oh, kind of respect Goku for at least getting rid of the weakness.
Yeah, I think it would play out something like, Goku and Raditz, they fight it out.
With Krillin backing up.
And Krillin focuses on, like, the after-image technique, or some sort of technique where he's moving fast while Raditz is distracted. Krillin grabs Raditz's tail, Goku full Nelsons him to restrain him, and that's when Raditz, weakly in response, reaches behind and grabs the base of Goku's tail, but Goku's like, hey, you're gonna have to try better than that.
Well, I mean, the full Nelson thing hasn't happened yet. This is like the first special beam cannon or the Monkey Kasapo.
Well, still, I mean, they know how fast Raditz is. I feel like if not a full Nelson, he's still gonna try to restrain Raditz in some way.
Yeah, but at the same time, all of this going on, Goku getting pain and hit. Gohan's probably been hearing this down in the pod. I think, instead of just Goku going to the Akari, Goku already had that power before he had Gohan. So
you think Gohan inherited it?
Yes, I think so. That's
okay.
That's how
well,
Super Saiyan works.
How does Raditz get out of the fact that Krillin and Goku are on him? Does he convince Goku to... Like, does Goku convince Krillin somehow to let go of the tail, or...?
That's a good point, because Krillin is there. It's very likely they're not gonna...
Yeah, Krillin in canon was about to stab Vegeta with Yajirobe's sword. He knows how to get rid of a threat.
Yeah.
So the idea of Raditz, you know what? I can see it play out like this. Okay.
Okay.
So Raditz is on the ground, right? And he's begging his brother Kakarot, let me go, please. If you let me go, I will leave this planet immediately. I will not do anything else. I will open the pod and release your son, and I will leave. And of course, Goku sees how serious Krillin is, and says, like, well, no, because you were evil to us, right, Krillin? And Krillin kind of reinforces that. Raditz then threatens and says, please, if you do not let me go, I cannot report to the two more powerful Saiyans awaiting my arrival. And then that's when Goku kind of looks at Piccolo like, don't kill him yet. And that is when Raditz feigns being unable to talk because of how weak he is. And thanks to the need of getting information, Krillin eases up on his grip just enough to get gut-kicked by Raditz, and then Raditz headbutts Goku in the chest.
Yeah, because Raditz is a very tactful, he's gonna do stuff like that.
Right.
And in response, Piccolo's gonna try and use the Monka Kursapo to try and get Raditz off guard. And
it's gonna break Raditz's armor, he might do some damage to his shoulder, just like in the cannon.
It'd probably be I think in this scenario, it might be a case of this extra bit of time for Piccolo to still charge it. Might just lead to Raditz getting his entire shoulder getting pierced. And
so he's wounded.
Like, his arm is now flopping around.
Yeah, and Krillin is like, good shot, Piccolo! And still missed all of his vital organs.
I think the same thing. I was like, too bad you missed all my vital organs. All of them?
All of them?
And then And then to throw even more into his stain, Gohan. Do we want to have an Akari Gohan just rage at Raditz, or do we want to?
I would think that in this timeline, because Raditz is now wounded, like he takes his scouter off and tosses it aside because he's about to power up and be like, "All right, that's it. I'm not. After this wound, I am not going to be holding back anymore." And he doesn't destroy. He doesn't kill anyone. But he does wound Piccolo.
Yeah, he just goes, wounds... He ruins
yep.
Piccolo because Piccolo shot a beam through him. And that pisses him off. So he shoots, Piccolo out of the way.
He blasts Piccolo. Let's say he blasts Piccolo in a way where Piccolo's missing both his legs. So he can feign death. But we know he can grow them back.
Mm-hmm.
He then goes on the offensive against Krillin. And when he goes on the offensive against Krillin, Goku jumps in, but Goku, similar to how Raditz did with Krillin in canon, Raditz kind of beats Goku aside with his tail.
Yeah.
And is able to get Krillin on the ground before turning his anger at his brother. And after getting his anger at his brother, breaking his body, his brother starts yelling in pain because his older brother is now putting his boot on his chest. That's when we get Gohan getting all angry.
Yeah, and because and it's still the raged Gohan, but at this time, because of the Akari being already something that inherited ability.
Oh no! Instead of something like a power level of 205, wait, 330, 468, 712. What? Where is this power? Instead of something like that, it's more along the lines of a power level of 516. Wait, 892, 1000, 1200, 15. Where is this power coming from?
And
then, kaboom! Ship's destroyed.
Raditz.
There's an angry kid right there.
And then Gohan barrels into Raditz. Now, would this kill Raditz? This powered up kid.
I'm gonna say it doesn't kill Raditz. I would say that it gravely wounds him because he's already missing blood from the hole in his shoulder. But I feel like Raditz would survive, but he would have to take well over 10 minutes to start being able to breathe again. His ribs are broken.
So he's on the ground.
He is on the ground, internally bleeding, and he's coughing up blood. He's trying to breathe, and the entire time, Goku is just flabbergasted that his son did that. And of course, Gohan is like, "What happened? What happened? I'm really angry at this guy because it hasn't quite faded yet. Yeah. Gohan can't really control, but
Goku's there to soothe his son.
Yeah, Goku, he's able to roll over to his son, hold him, and witness the Saiyan on the ground coughing up blood, and that's when.
Do you want to have a Raditz survives timeline? Or
you could if you wanted to go that route.
You know what? The other timeline with female Goku Raditz died. Why not? Because Goku is the merciful type. Even
because that's why I incorporated the whole Raditz goes for Piccolo first. Yeah. Because then Piccolo doesn't have time to charge a second beam cannon.
Yeah.
And so in order to get information out of Raditz, like Goku, who is severely less weak than Krillin and Piccolo.
Yeah.
He stands up. He stands up holding Gohan, and he kicks his brother in the side and rolls his brother to on his back, and puts his boot where Gohan hit on his chest.
Yeah.
Forcing Raditz, Raditz is screaming in pain.
Yeah.
And Goku, tells him, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't make this wound even worse. Who are these Saiyans?" he's demanding answers out of Raditz because he does not trust Raditz after what just fucking happened. And Raditz, weakly, while coughing up blood. I can't stress that enough. There's a lot wrong inside Raditz right now.
Yeah, he would be. Just...
Yeah. So, he's these Saiyans. They're far more powerful than I am. When they realize that I've failed my mission, they'll come and destroy your entire planet, Kakarot.
And him being as fearful as he is, he's gonna... Well, Goku's not gonna trust his so-called brother.
Right.
But Goku he's merciful in terms of... He let Piccolo go when he could have killed him. Or when he could have let Kami kill Piccolo. But he didn't.
No, he didn't. Well, he thought he did, but then Piccolo, gets up after growing his legs back.
In that timeline, he didn't... Well, during the 23rd... he didn't.
Oh yeah.
He didn't give him a sensu bean, but he allowed Piccolo to leave.
Right, and I would think about this time, Piccolo's recovering little by little after just regrowing his legs. He's just laying there like Goku's got this.
Yeah. Actually, he probably does want to kill Raditz right then and there. He's on the ground, vulnerable, but
right. But Raditz is still useful as far as information right now.
Yeah.
And I would think about that time Krillin gets up. He's weakly going over to his best friend and his best friend's son when he hears a muttering in the grass. Some sound, some voices.
Oh,
and he looks over
and
he sees Raditz. Yeah, Raditz the scouter. And he goes to it and he picks it up, listening in. Saying, well, it looks like Raditz lost against those Earthlings, Vegeta. I guess we'll have to clean up after him. Still, a child going from, what, 1 to almost 2,000? I think this Earth will be a fun little trip, Nappa.
And I think you'd be like, and a hybrid of that.
Yeah. So Vegeta is very interested in this child.
Yeah, he probably just wants to... That's actually the main reason. And that'd probably be the main reason they go to Earth, is because they want to just take the child...
Yeah, they don't know anything about no Dragon Balls.
Yeah. Meaning Frieza doesn't know anything about no Dragon Balls, so... And
I would think around that time, like, Krillin would be like, Goku! Who is that? Who is on Raditz's scouter right now? I'm
the Heavenly Buddha! And he's
I'm the Heavenly Buddha!
As he presses the button to turn off the recording.
Yeah, like actually he doesn't even know anything about it. He just throws the scouter down and breaks it. Something else we've seen in the Android saga. Krillin's good at breaking shit.
Yeah, it's just
so he just kind of throws the scouter down and breaks it real quick, like. And of course, Raditz is just like, that was my way off this planet.
And then Raditz falls unconscious.
Yeah, he goes unconscious because, Goku's pressure plus what Gohan did.
Yeah. And
after Raditz is unconscious, Goku hoists him up over his shoulder whenever he wakes up.
Piccolo just sort of flew off after the whole...
Yeah, because Piccolo is going to get some training after sensing what Gohan did.
And also after hearing what Krillin said about, these Saiyans and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so after hearing that more powerful Saiyans are going to show up, hearing what Gohan did...
He's going to train himself.
He's going to get training.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And Krillin's like, what are you going to do with him? I'm taking him to Korin's. What?
No, I think... Here's the thing. I don't think he would go to Korin's with it. I think, in this case, he knows that Raditz is really strong. He doesn't want to kill Raditz, show Raditz, mercy. Which...
Right.
Raditz would just think he was going to die right there, because after all that information...
Well, that's why he would go to Korin's, because he needs a sensu bean.
Not a sensu bean. I think they would want to keep him still injured, but they would take him to Capture Corp, or at least to... be bandaged up and heal, or at least bandaged up.
Oh, no. My bad. I probably did not communicate. I mean, he was going to get himself a senzu bean.
Oh,
because at this point, he knows every time when he was a kid, Goku got stronger every time he was wounded, and Raditz did a number on him.
But I think he would just hand Raditz over to...
He would. He would definitely... Raditz would be in a hospital bed. So, Goku would go to Korin's, with Krillin. Yep. Krillin and Goku would get senzu beans, and they would get Raditz to a hospital because they're not about to give a madman like that a senzu bean.
Well, I think
Raditz...
There is a case where, this isn't... I got this idea off sort of this fan manga of Raditz turning good type thing, where they had him sort of around the sort of in an isolated place in like a capsule type thing. So he's not in any sort of city or anything. He's being sort of cared for in the middle of nowhere, or at least somewhere hidden.
Here's a thought. Okay, if you want to go down that route where he is he's imprisoned wherever he is, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they, after going to Korin's and getting senzu beans, and they talk about it, Korin tells them, well, considering this is an Earth situation, you might want to take it up with the guy upstairs. So they take him up to Kami. Kami senses the immense power coming from Raditz and says, well, I can think of one possible way. I wouldn't want to expose the world to whatever he is.
I wouldn't say he puts him in the time chamber.
No, I'm not going that way.
Yeah.
But there is one technique that you learned in your time. Oh! Are you talking about the evil containment wave? That's correct, Krillin.
I don't think you'd even put them in there. I think they'd just put him in like a isolated region, so that he can just not... Well, they can look at it, they can guard him, but he's out of the way of most things. So it's like, where he's being bandaged, but he is...
Well, I would think that region would be Kami's lookout, because who the hell knows about Kami's lookout?
Yeah.
So, I would think Kami would keep his eye on him.
Yeah.
Either that, or you could even go the argument of Chi-Chi keeps an eye on him in the middle of the woods in Mount Paozu.
Yeah, that's honestly probably a good place, because that's where Goku is, and so he can make sure his brother isn't doing anything stupid.
And of course, at first, Chi-Chi is just angry with Goku. Like, you're bringing a murderous madman who kidnapped our child to our house! No, and that's what he kind of has to explain. This is my brother.
Yeah, Goku's... I'm an alien. Yeah, turns out I'm an alien.
Yep. Turns out I'm an alien. This is my brother, and 2 more powerful aliens are gonna show up in about 9 months. So I need to train a lot, and I need to be sure he's nearby so I can keep my eye on him, and you're kind of strong too, Chi-Chi, and, oh boy.
Yes.
But all the while, I think the Z-Warriors still go up to Kami's lookout and get Kami's training.
Yep, they do, something they would have. Goku's already done that training, and because he's not dead in this timeline, he can't go to King Kai's.
No Kaioken. But we do have Akari in this timeline.
Yeah, there is Akari, so he has that under his belt. So that's probably a case where he's going to train that, so he can activate, because at the time, it's a form that he can only access if he has like some extreme emotions. So,
and I would think every single time, so it would take some time before Raditz does wake up. I would say maybe a couple days.
Yeah, a couple days.
And he has home cooking from Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
But because of the brutish Saiyan nature, he doesn't thank her for the meal or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And he's more concerned with how Gohan exists.
Yeah, but Chi-Chi's more just an ungrateful brute.
Right, and every single time, it becomes a case where Chi-Chi is rehabilitating Raditz.
But at the same time, Gohan! The Gohan effect!
Yep, the Gohan effect happens. Gotta love it. So the Gohan effect happens as well because Gohan is, super curious about space. Yeah. And I'll take a note from one of my what ifs. I forget which one it was.
At the same time, Gohan at first is a bit scared of Raditz because he kidnapped him.
Right. Eventually, it does take a little while for Gohan to understand.
And I think Goku would also tell to Raditz that what Krillin basically heard on the scouter was that, he failed. We're just gonna go without that planet anyway, and
right.
Kind of
right. So they're gonna come here.
Raditz that how they don't seem to care all that much. For comrades of yours, they don't seem to care all that much about you.
Yeah, and then I think Raditz would be like, well, why would they? When it comes down to Saiyan society, power levels add up as far as a thing. I am but a low-class warrior. Nappa is a mid-class, and Vegeta is a Saiyan elite. I am one of the lesser forms. What was I? What? What was I? You said that everything goes by power levels. What was I when I was a kid? 2. 2? But now you're well over 500. I don't understand how it's possible. No child like that should have a power level like that.
And it does bring up my own theory about how Saiyan power levels and stuff are born with. The lower the Saiyan's power level, the higher their potential.
Yeah. So when laying there, since Raditz is clever, he might figure that out.
Yeah, and the fact is, I think that Raditz was born with a higher power level at birth. But
I believe it was something along the lines of 122, something like that.
Oh.
It really wasn't that big in comparison to most of the... I mean, most of the babies were 200, 400.
Yeah.
But Raditz got the low end of the stick. He was an outlier on the low end, but he was more than 100, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So, that's my own theory on it, but you continue with what you were saying.
Oh yeah, so Goku figures it, he says, well, if I was that low and yet I could keep up with you, then maybe there's more to you. Maybe you can get better. Maybe this whole thing is kind of kind of screwy. Kind of... What? Kakarot, you insult our race! It doesn't seem like it. I mean, the way that you make it sound, I really shouldn't be as powerful as I am right now. And look, if anything, I think I did our race, whatever they are, some honor by getting to this far and pushing myself further and further. That's what a warrior should do. A warrior! A warrior! Get out of my face, Kakarot! I don't want to... And that's when Chi-Chi comes with a frying pan.
Yeah.
You do not yell in the house! Sort of thing.
Yeah, and Raditz could quickly understand how his brother, how Kakarot fell.
How Kakarot got this woman. Oh, strong woman, got it.
She's quite a... Raditz realized he doesn't say it to Goku, so she's quite a fierce woman. So that's from... Yep. I can tell why Goku fell for her.
Yeah.
Kakarot, yeah.
Yep. But the first night, I think, during the training, we would get the first night where Gohan transforms.
Yeah. But at the same time, Goku can transform. And
yeah, but I was thinking, considering he's a half-breed, right?
Yeah.
He's got that sort of... He's got that experimental stage. Nobody up to this point knew what a half-breed Saiyan could fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
And Goku is holding back because he doesn't want to hurt his son.
Yep.
But his son wants to hurt him.
I think the case would be he would go with Zaru and just sort of keep Gohan sort of stationary, on the ground, just...
Attempt to, anyway.
Yeah, though Raditz's understanding of the fact that Goku can actually control the Uzaru That's
right.
strange.
Raditz is realizing this, and Chi-Chi, wraps Raditz's eyes as far as that's concerned.
Yeah,
and, being around the family, he's able to pick up power sensing. By this point, he's able to not only sense the power levels going on, but he's also, he's on his feet, knows that, okay, if he were to go on the offensive, Kakarot's friends have gotten up in power levels. He's been on a bed for the last couple of months. He's not much stronger. He's getting up in power levels too. And the Namekian is also coming along these people are pushing themselves unlike any race he's ever seen in space.
Yeah. So
there's something to this. Going to the Grade 8 fight with Raditz kind of sensing it out, and, standing outside. Chi-Chi's also standing outside because she's worried about her son. He realizes that Kakarot, yes, this training is great, but Kakarot lacks the kind of Saiyan brutality that a rabid Ozaru would have in this situation. Goku doesn't want to hurt Gohan here, but Gohan wants to hurt Goku.
Yeah.
So, even though Goku might be able to, let's say Goku does pin him, right? Is able to pin his son and try to yell at him, Gohan, you must stop this! I am your daddy! That sort of thing. Gohan ain't listening, and much like the rage boost we got that put Raditz in the situation to begin with, another sort of rage boost happens where Goku takes a mouth beam to the shoulder from Gohan, and he's on the ground, and Gohan gets up, still angry, still out of control, starting bringing both fists down like an ape would on his father's chest, trying to beat him. And that's where Raditz has to make a decision. It's this episode where we realize that Raditz turns good, if you want to go that way. And he tells Chi-Chi, go inside right now. What? I'm not going to leave you alone, you madman. There's no time! Kakarot needs help. And I have one way to do it. Okay, but you better not hurt my husband or my child. Trust me, I won't kill either of them. I said hurt, and I said kill. Which one? Safety or brutality? So he takes off the blindfold, and next thing you know, Gohan gets clotheslined by an armored giant ape.
With that long hair.
Yep, with long hair along his back, and of course this giant ape's like, so kiddo, you think you can throw your father around? How about you take a swing at Uncle Raditz? And Gohan does better than Raditz would have expected, but Raditz has more of a brutal Saiyan nature.
Yeah.
And while Goku is kind of catching his breath in his Grade 8 form, after being pummeled by his son, Raditz is just taking it to Gohan. Winding him whenever he gets the chance, grabbing his tail to see if it does something.
Which, in this case, it probably would. I mean, I don't think Gohan has...
Yep, him slamming the ground, making earthquakes all around them. And this gets the attention of Piccolo. Because Piccolo's out there, and he senses not one, not two, because he could do the math on that one. Okay, Goku. Okay, Goku's son. Raditz. Oh shit, what's happening?
Yeah.
Piccolo's gonna go check this out. And he's watching from a distance. Simple as that. Yeah, he's interested in paying attention to this because he thinks, okay, if they can do it, maybe the Saiyans have a way of doing this. And if they arrive on a full moon night, then they're gonna do this. I need to get as strong as whatever these are. He wants to put a meter stick down.
He doesn't have Gohan to look after, so meaning he can probably get stronger than what he did.
Yeah, he's gonna be stronger than 3,000. He's probably gonna be on. He's probably gonna be on Nappa's level.
Yeah.
Nappa was 4,400.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be on par with Nappa because he doesn't have a brat to look after.
True.
So he's paying attention to one armored great ape completely beat the hell out of another one.
Yep.
And Chi-Chi's voice echoes like, Goku, get him off our son! And, Goku in the great ape form, but Chi-Chi, Raditz is doing what he thinks is best.
I think Chi-Chi would still tell Goku to make his brother stop.
Yeah, and I would think when Goku realizes that Gohan is beaten, like, the roaring great ape ends up turning to whining, that's when Goku gets up, stomps over to Raditz, grabs his shoulders, and throws him aside, putting more emphasis on the still wounded shoulder
God, this is
of Raditz.
The scene of, like, this small Chi-Chi having to basically reprimand,
like, yelling at this giant monkey.
This whole thing is so weird. Would be so weird
I know, but I would think at this point Goku would have transformed in front of Chi-Chi enough times. Chi-Chi would have understood by now.
Yeah, I know, I'm aware, but like this whole episode would be just, in terms of how people would react to it, would just be like, big monkey, just go wild.
Yeah. So he would get Raditz off. Raditz would, tell Kakarot, two giant monkeys, you should be harsher on the boy. Otherwise, this monster will end up destroying people that you care about. He's still my son. I want to be sure that he is protected. And what you have done is brutalize him. Brutalize! I saved your life, Kakarot. You need to be harsher whenever he is transformed. Stuff like that. It goes back and forth. But Piccolo gets some important information here. One, if someone's not trained in it, they're gonna go wild. 2, giant apes can easily lose their temper because this is the angriest he's ever seen Goku.
Yeah, because while Goku has control over it, the Izaru is still a very much a primal form, which is going to make you angry. It's a... Right,
and so, if, let's say, the Saiyans can do it, what's going through Piccolo's mind is, let's say the Saiyans can turn into this whenever they want, and we have to deal with this. Okay, it might not be hard to piss one of them off, causing them to make more mistakes. This is a tactical advantage.
Yeah, so if those two Saiyans that are coming to this planet, if they have that same rage issue, Piccolo can use that to make them slip up.
Yep, and the third one is, sure, Gohan's not trained, but he was able to best Goku. Sure, Goku wasn't fighting at his best, but this power-up is significant when it comes down to how much energy a being ends up having in this giant form.
Yeah.
So this would urge him to practice his giant form more.
Oh. Meaning that he practices it so it's like when he turns giant, his power actually does increase by a...
Right. It's not going to be just a size difference like what Goku figured out during the World Tournament.
Yeah.
It's going to be the fact that, okay, I need to regulate my power as I grow so that it carries through the whole body and I have this huge reservoir of power at all times. Not only does that huge reservoir of power mean he can instantly use the Makanko Sapo now, but it also means that he can regulate that reservoir of power he's been focusing through his training into the giant form so that he doesn't lose any stamina. He actually gains power with his size. So it's more of a form now that Piccolo can use because he paid attention to not 1 or 2, but 3 great apes going at it.
Yeah, and going back to Goku and Raditz. So at this point, Raditz would have probably joined Goku in the training, and Goku would be teaching Raditz how the Earthling way of fighting, the Earthling way of training, instead of the brutish way that he was probably trained.
I couldn't help but think that maybe one day while they're resting, they go drive cars.
Yes. Yes. It's just, God, I'm just thinking Goku. Just like, hey, you want to drive cars? Like, bitch.
Yeah. Hey, Raditz. Huh? You want to drive a car? You want to go drive a car? What's a car? Bitchin'!
Yeah, they get there just but,
so that would happen. So like, okay, so the training does go on, and Raditz wants to urge Gohan's training. So, but what did you want to do? Like, did you want Gohan to train because Raditz is going to urge it?
I'd say that it's. I think at this point, the training should probably begin for Go. Chi-Chi would protest, I think, but at the same time, like in this timeline, Chi-Chi's not just is left behind and not informed at all. At the same time, she's fine with her husband training because obviously he's training to fight. But
he's the strongest man on the planet.
Well, I think Gohan would, get trained. I think Chi-Chi would draw the line. Gohan is not fighting those Saiyans. I'll let you train him, but he's not fighting those Saiyans.
He needs to be able to control the giant monkey form just like his father. But after that, no. You are not taking my son to fight some deadly aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would happen, and at first they would keep to their word, right? They would get Gohan to be able to control the monkey form, which would take, what, 3 months? Gohan's a clever kid. He would pick it up quick.
And I think this would put Raditz the idea that it took years for Raditz to get control of his Uzaru.
Right, and they did this in a matter of months.
And for Goku, it took, half a year.
Yeah, Gohan picked it up after the 3rd or 4th training session. It's mind-boggling to them.
Yeah, because Raditz is not used to the meditation and all that. Yeah.
Right. But with Gohan finishing the training, now he can control it. Chi-Chi says, "Good. Now go train with your brother or something, Goku, because you're not training further with Gohan. She's done." And I would think in the middle of his studies, Chi-Chi notices that Gohan's kind of daydreaming, looking out, because the Great Ape training kind of got to him.
I was just thinking that Raditz and Goku just take Gohan, but you just continue what you were doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I was gonna pull a page out of the Before Buu saga. During that time skip, and Chi-Chi realizes there's something wrong with Gohan. Gohan wants to train, and Chi-Chi, knowing that Gohan's nowhere near his father and his uncle in power level, she trains him.
Ooh. Okay.
Like she did with Goten.
Yeah, getting some more.
We'll get Chi-Chi to teach Gohan the basics.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of months, let's say Goku and Raditz, after understanding that Raditz is good, they get Raditz a senzu bean, and Raditz's shoulder feels back to normal.
Yes, full on.
Like he feels like he can.
How much of
he can punch with full strength now.
How much of a Zenkai do you think he would have gotten?
Not a lot.
He's up to 2,000. After the Zenkai, he was from 1,500 to 2,000 or something. That was.
I would even go as far as 2,200. Okay. A little over 2,000. But by this point, Goku is at 24.
Yeah.
Goku kept up.
Yeah, so now they're but I think in this case, Goku and Raditz training. Raditz is more brutal in terms of where he trains, so they do get more Zenkais over time.
Mm-hmm.
But
they would get more Zenkais because it's two Saiyans going at it.
And obviously the Gohan effect has been in full swing for a while now.
Right.
So Raditz has let more of his guard down over time.
And all the while, Gohan's had his guard up.
Yeah.
Because Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
So I would think, okay, so we're at counting it up, we had 2 months where Raditz was recovering. Then 3 months of grade 8 training. So that's 5 months that have gone by. I would think after another couple months, we have another filler episode. Where
honestly,
the training...
Honestly, you could have Gohan do the some of the filler episodes that we did actually get in the... I don't know.
The orphans and all that?
Yeah, the orphans and stuff.
Yeah, but Chi-Chi is also staying with Gohan, you know, she's not letting him out of her sight.
Oh yeah, no, she's...
So she would be nervous about the orphans, but she would understand. She would maybe cook them a good meal, something like that.
And it would show that not every adult is...
Not every adult's bad.
Yeah. And
the adults that come by to get those children, they just want to get them in an orphanage that's going to help find them families, you know. Like, she talks some sense into them.
Yeah.
But with Gohan getting stronger through training with Chi-Chi, I would think that one morning before Raditz and Goku, like, Goku gets up after Raditz. Raditz decides, you know what, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to go for maybe a run or maybe a swim, you know, something before my brother shows up because I need time away from that idiot for a minute.
Yeah,
something like that.
He may be biologically a Saiyan, but he does not act like one.
And this is where Gohan gets a little bit of an angst, because Gohan, remembering what he did to Raditz to begin with, he's already up, and he's waiting for Raditz outside. And as soon as Raditz gets outside, he's like, "Oh, Gohan, do you mind? I'm gonna go for a run. Spar with me." "What? You? You're not even trained. Don't waste your uncle's time. I've got some serious training to get to. Don't you understand that the Saiyans are strong?" And that's when Gohan charges him and shows that, you know what? He has been training. Someone's been training this child.
Yeah.
And so he spars with Gohan's outmatched, obviously. But it still sparks Raditz's curiosity that Gohan had the guts to challenge him. There's a lot that's interesting with this child, you know?
Yes.
So after the training session, you know, like, Raditz ends up, like, putting him on his back on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of pummeling the hell out of him, he just kind of backs off, and Goku by that point is up with Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi's, you know, worried about Gohan, but Goku is wondering where the hell he learned those techniques. And then he remembers the World Martial Arts Tournament. And then he looks at his wife.
Yeah.
He's like, "Chi-Chi, why was Gohan fighting just like you?" "What? You're a fighter, Chi-Chi?" "Well, I had to get my husband somehow." "You fought?" "Well," and that's when, you know, we get the backstory, you know, classic Dragon Ball scenes in Z.
Yeah.
Where Chi-Chi and Goku become engaged in the middle of the ring. Then Raditz respects this and understands where the warrior spirit of Gohan came from. I
want to go with how a scene in one of the episodes would probably be Goku showing Raditz Ikari, or at least him figuring out how to, you know, how to tap into the raw emotions that is required.
Yeah, I would think he would show Raditz about that, but Raditz would understand it, but be unable to pull it out. There's just nothing on Earth that's pissing him off.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing on Earth that's really pissing him off. And so, from then on, for the last few months before the Saiyans show up, Gohan is being trained by Raditz Goku, and Chi-Chi is making him focus on the books.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi ends up taking the mother role, because I do not see Toriyama going the Chi-Chi's a Z-Warrior route.
Yep. Yeah, that I don't think. So, either way, Gohan has gotten strong. Like,
oh yeah,
at least his power would at least be over 1,000 by the time the Saiyans arrive.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, he would be over 1,000. The other Z Warriors would be where they are in canon.
Maybe like Gohan's like a 2,000 or something. And you know what would be fun is if Gohan had learnt the double Sunday.
I'd like that. He learns a double Masenko. I
don't know. No Masenko. That was a Piccolo move that he...
Oh, that was a Piccolo move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he basically learns the double Sunday off his...
the double Sunday. Alright. Yeah, but Piccolo... He's come on game. He's got gains.
How strong do you think he's become?
Well, I would think that he would do a lot of training where he's beating himself up, like multiform technique, beating himself up. He did do the growth training as well, which took a lot of energy. He's done training as far as ki control. Did a lot less meditation because he knows about the brutal nature of the Saiyans, and mind training isn't going to help him.
Yep.
Like, he gets that. So, instead of 100 kilo being the weight on his armor, nah, he's pushing 1,000,000.
Ah.
He's pushing 1,000,000 kilo.
You want to say he's like 5,000 or 6,000?
I would say he's over Nappa at 5,000.
Now,
he's over Nappa.
What about Raditz and Goku?
Well, the word of the day is Zenkai when in that department.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about 2 Saiyans and a half Saiyan.
Now,
2.5 Saiyans.
After this year of training for the Saiyans, I think, and coming from a Toriyama's perspective, it might be a case where he decides, I'm just going to have Goku learn how to control it. Or at least tap into it when he needs to, because that's convenient. He doesn't have Kaioken, so alternative.
Yep. So I was thinking if Gohan went from, freaking
1 to 2,000.
Yeah, 1 to 2,000.
That's a steep increase.
Those two would have gotten gains. I would say upwards of about 8,000 each. Like, because Zenkai on top of Zenkai on top of Zenkai, and then you also have when their power levels were multiplied by 10.
Yeah, I'd say maybe Raditz
getting a Zenkai while they're...
I'd say Raditz is slightly higher, about 8,500. It's going into it, but their base are roughly the same. So, so it's good.
Roughly around 8,000.
Yeah.
So, like, Raditz would not let Kakarot get ahead of him, and Goku would just try his best at that point. The best part about this conflict is we don't get the Yamcha pose.
But obviously, I think Goku, if he learned with Clothespin, he would have just given Raditz a new set of armor. It's like, well,
the armor expands.
I know the armor expands, but I mean, they're training. So that armor's going to get damaged. It was already slightly damaged.
Oh, yeah, he'd be able to repair it with the clothes beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But eventually, really, I think the Saiyans would have still shown up in East City and destroyed half of it.
Yeah, they would show up in the city, destroy some of it, and then their scouters would ping that a whole bunch of power levels were showing up.
Or at least, would they show up right there at the city? Or would they...
No, I would think, like...
Well, they would go for the high... Raditz, Vegeta and Nappa would go for the highest powers on the planet.
Yeah, they can sense. So, I would think they would still level the city, Nappa's volcano explosion.
Yep.
He would level the city, and of course, Vegeta's like, you idiot, Nappa. What? Don't you think they would have known about the child? Maybe they would have had information! And you killed them all, you idiot!
Yeah, they're not here for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they're not here for Dragon Balls. They're here for Gohan. Nobody said anything about Dragon Balls, and nobody's had to be revived. That's where it's a big thing, because not even Frieza knows about Dragon Ball.
I still imagine Bulma collected them just to
make
sure they're safe.
Just in case, yeah.
Just in case they need to use
and she would keep 6 of them on her, and as an added precaution, because her family knows about Dragon Balls, her friends knows about Dragon Balls, and she doesn't want to be tempted into making a wish before they're ready. She gives one of the Dragon Balls to Roshi.
Well, I think one of the Dragon Balls was on Gohan's hat.
I mean, yeah, it was.
So the 4-star ball is in the hands of Goku.
Okay, so Bulma has 6 Dragon Balls, and the 4-star ball... You know what? The 4-star ball is with Chi-Chi, because Gohan isn't going to be fighting in that Chinese Emperor outfit.
No. I think it... Would he... At that point, would Gohan might decide to go, or it depends on what Chi-Chi thinks is right?
I would think Gohan would go, because he wants to be there for his father and uncle. And
yeah.
He would kind of put his foot down with Chi-Chi and be like, I'm going, because I want to be helpful.
It's sort of scene when he defied Chi-Chi to go to Namek. It's like, I'm going to... It's like, I'm going to fight! And so he goes with them.
Yep, he goes with them, and he meets Mr. Piccolo, and is very fascinated with Mr. Piccolo.
But Piccolo is still kind of a bastard at this point, because he hasn't been softened.
Yeah, he still is. He still is. He hasn't been softened by the Gohan effect yet.
I love the Gohan effect. It's...
Yep. So... The battle goes on with the Saiyans, and to test their powers.
Although the Cybermen come out. Well, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, because obviously Nappa and Vegeta, after their destruction of a city, head to the highest power level they can sense, which would probably be Raditz and Goku, even if their powers are suppressed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would think it would be between Raditz and Piccolo, because at this point, Piccolo is not holding back as far as his power is concerned. And Raditz isn't good at suppressing his power. So, while Goku could probably get his power down to about 800, Piccolo's ready for a fight. About 4,000, 4,200.
Yeah. Either way.
And Raditz can't cut his power level in... Can only cut his power level in about half, so that would bring him about 4,200.
Either way, Nappa and Vegeta show up with Piccolo, which is then joined by first Raditz, Goku, and Gohan.
Right, and the rest of the Z Fighters also follow.
Yeah, though some things would be said towards Raditz, because he pretty much betrayed them, or at least he's conversing. In fact, they thought he was dead, for all they knew.
Yeah, they thought that he was that. Oh, look, Vegeta. Brothers are reunited. Ha! Look at them. It's adorable, Nappa. In fact, I'm going to check their power levels. And, of course, he does. Vegeta! What does this counter say about his power level? All that goes on.
So, Goku is a standard 800. He's showing off 800, while Raditz not as good at it.
Not as good.
He's at 5. He's showing 5,000 or something.
And of course, and that's what Vegeta starts laughing, and Nappa has no idea what's so funny.
He's like, What's so funny, Vegeta?
The fool got to your power level, Nappa.
Even higher than that.
Even higher than you. I might have a new second man if he knows what's good for him. Yeah. And this kind of aggravates Nappa. And he's a meathead. So he goes in on Raditz.
Vegeta might plant the Cybermen to just go after the humans.
Here's the thing. Thinking about it, I don't think the Cybermen are planted. What would be the point if the two lowest power levels that they're seeing is 4,000 and 5,000?
Yeah. So now...
the Cybermen would just get slaughtered.
So yeah, I think... And so Nappa's just gonna fight Raditz.
Yeah. And Raditz is gonna be... like, yucking it up.
Yeah,
and after a while, Vegeta's like, I don't understand. He should at least be taking some damage from Nappa, but he's not taking a single hit. And after Nappa's kind of like got punched and falls back, like, not falls back, but, like, steps back a bit, catching his breath, like, how are you this strong? You shouldn't be this strong if your power level's only 5,000!
Oh,
And that's when he glares at, like, Vegeta and says, yeah, he glares at Vegeta and says, Vegeta, would you care to fix this simpleton's mind? I think I'm more powerful than he's letting on. And sure enough, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 8,000! What? 8,000?
Yeah.
That can't be right! There's no way that's accurate!
Yep.
Oh, yes. And my brother, who had a power level of 2 at birth, he's on my level. You haven't a chance, Baldy. So I suggest you run away while you still have the chance.
That's just gonna anger him more. Nappa.
Yeah, it is gonna anger him more, and he's gonna try, but eventually he's gonna get to the point where he's like, I can't win this, Vegeta. You want to tag in?
Or is a case where Nappa is defeated, and Vegeta tries to sway Raditz over to his side now that he's stronger than Nappa.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be sort of the end of Raditz's redemption arc in a way, where he pretty much before he wouldn't have defied Vegeta out of a sense of fear, but now he's thinking, even though he knows he's not as strong as Vegeta, he's like, no. Why should I listen to you? And
yes,
as he just throws the now unconscious body of Nappa to Vegeta's side, who,
yeah,
though at this time would Nappa's back have been broken by?
I don't think so. I think he'd be battered and bruised, but Nappa would still be able to get up. And Vegeta, Nappa is wounded
pissed.
as he is.
He's also pissed off that Raditz should have fight him like that. His prince, he's...
Mm-hmm.
How dare you defy an elite? You're just a low-class Saiyan wretch.
And that's, Raditz would be like, open your eyes, Prince! If 2 low-class warriors can beat a mid-class warrior, then that entire caste system was useless!
Fact. And he spouts off about Bardock and the fact that he was at your father's level of power.
Yeah, he spouts out that his father's power level was 10,000.
But
he was deemed a low-class warrior.
So I imagine that Bardock didn't tell anyone that his power level was that high.
Oh, this is totally Raditz putting on a show.
Yeah.
This is totally Raditz just being like, oh yeah, the 10,000 power level that you were so friggin' proud of? Yeah, my father did it years before you did. And he was a low-class warrior.
Case. Now the fight probably just continue with Vegeta now going for it. And I don't...
But would Nappa be killed?
If he's unconscious but still able to get healed, because his back isn't broken, he's not useless to Vegeta yet. Kind of, he's outclassed here, but he's like, he can still be, if he's healed, he gets Zenkai, he can still be useful.
I would think, he would say, alright, Nappa, you're not done yet. If anyone else intervenes, you're to kill them. It's my turn.
Yeah.
And of course, that's when Nappa's like, alright. He turns his attention to the other Z Warriors. Sure, he's weak, but a power level of 4,400. Yeah, I don't think any human is going to survive if Nappa fights him.
Yeah, though with Goku there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But what Nappa doesn't realize is that Namekian, he doesn't care about Nappa's threat. So he, but as far as, Vegeta goes up against the brothers, and the brothers are fighting together. They've been fighting together for some time.
Yeah. But by their power, combining their powers, they are on, they're still weaker than Vegeta, but, they're still up.
They have the teamwork necessary in order to take Vegeta on.
Yeah, they do.
And Nappa like, while that fight is going on, Nappa is standing guard, ready to fight any of the Z fighters that try.
And then Piccolo just comes up. He walks up. He's probably gonna fight. He wants to fight. This Nappa.
Yeah. He wants to fight Nappa. He wants to get his turn.
Yeah.
He gets to the point where he's like, so you're gonna stop anybody that tries to intervene, right? Yeah. What of it, Namekian? Namekian what? Namekian! That's what you are, you green freak! Your kind doesn't get much more powerful than 3,000. And that's a generous estimate.
As much as it'd be funny for Piccolo to just go giant and squish him, I think Piccolo wants a good fight out of this. Yeah,
Piccolo would toy with the weakened Nappa.
Yeah,
and that's when all the Z fighters are like, Piccolo got this powerful? How? You know?
Yeah.
Like, they're legitimately afraid that their former foe is now leagues ahead of them.
Mm. At least they have Goku. At least they have the Goku.
And Nappa can't take a break. Nappa can't get a break, I should say. But Piccolo's not going to be as merciful as the now soft-hearted Raditz. Nappa's dead.
Yeah, I think Piccolo, his last move would pretty much just be to Monk and Kosa post him right through his chest. Just straight.
Yeah, I think he would be weak and be like, tell you what, big guy. I'm going to finish you off with 2 fingers. What? You're insane. I'll take you down. He just puts like 2 fingers on Nappa's chest, and then all of a sudden there's a hole in his chest.
And he's just one badass like one-liner or something. I don't know.
Like, he'd be like, "Let this be the last word you hear, Makan Kosapo." Then Nappa falls over, and everybody is shocked. And this is where Piccolo turns to the group and says, "I'm not your enemy in this conflict. While I can't stand the sight of any of you, you came to this battlefield for a reason. Surely you can sense the extent of that other Saiyan's power." Yeah, but how are we going to do anything, Piccolo? That guy'll take us out without even breaking a sweat. Don't you get it? When Raditz showed up, we didn't surrender, and now he's fighting on our side. I'm going. If you guys are going to be cowards, then get out of here.
And I love the imagine that Vegeta is fighting the Saiyan brothers. Piccolo stretches his hand and, punches Vegeta's face.
Yep. Yep, so Piccolo gets involved with the fight.
Because I think what this has happened is that they're charging energy. Raditz and Goku have to charge up their power. So that's why the humans got involved in the first place.
Right, because they know they can't handle Vegeta. It was a moot point, just like when the 3 of them fought Raditz. So it would be a moot point against Vegeta unless they charged up energy to end it in one shot.
Yeah.
And Piccolo is smart enough to tell everybody we need to buy them time. Not the best decision.
Yeah, he's getting in the way of a Saiyan battle, which it's...
Yeah, and I mean, Raditz and Goku wouldn't do anything to Piccolo, but at this point, Piccolo's got a Saiyan kill under his belt. He's allowed to make a mistake or two.
Yeah, he is.
And he understands that those 2 are kind of weak right now, so he needs to buy them a little bit of time. A little bit of time that, unfortunately, is all the time he has left.
Are you going to say he dies?
I'm going to say that Vegeta kills him. Vegeta's able to kill him before Raditz and Goku have enough energy to let off, like a powered up beam attack.
Yeah. Well,
they can't go Spirit Bomb here.
Though, well, at the same time, I think if the humans are going to get involved, I think Tien definitely was going to want to. Is that they would be pretty much doing things to slip Vegeta up, kind of.
Right. So they would be helping Piccolo, as far as that's concerned. But at the same time, they are heavily outmatched with Vegeta.
And honestly, with all these people fighting, Vegeta might have to resort to... I mean, It depends if he wants to resort to the moon.
I don't think he would.
Yeah.
Because he's aware, just like this timeline is, he's aware that you don't need your tail. You just need the moon.
Yeah.
He know, and at this point, every Saiyan right now has their tail.
Yeah.
So even if he didn't know about not needing the tail in order to transform, the Saiyans that are there have their tails. They're going to transform.
Yeah, he knows that.
So he has to think strategically as far as this is concerned.
Though
in which case,
I think some death. If you want to go with who would die to Vegeta, what human would die to Vegeta?
Well, we'd have the Chaozu sacrifice.
Yep.
So
this is weakening Vegeta over time. So it's...
Yeah. We would have the Chaozu sacrifice. Let's throw it out there. Let's say that Vegeta does turn Great Ape. Alright? What would their power levels end up being? Well, you've got two Saiyans at about 80,000 each.
Yep.
You have Piccolo at 50,000 if he's able to master the giant form as well as a Great Ape form. Like, let it be like a Namekian Great Ape.
Didn't you say he got
equivalent.
Killed by Vegeta?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how does he get killed by Vegeta? Like, we need to play that scenario out.
Yeah.
Does he get killed by Great Ape Vegeta, or does he end up just getting killed by Vegeta? If he gets killed by Great Ape Vegeta, then Great Ape Vegeta 180,000 versus 50,000. That's an even bigger gap than 18,000 to 5,000.
Mm.
So it would be the case where the giant form turns out didn't friggin' serve you better, did it, Piccolo? And he would have miscalculated as far as that's concerned. Yeah. That's if Vegeta resorts to the light ball.
Which honestly probably doesn't. He's
because he knows there's two other Saiyans that will go Great Ape. If you want to go the route, and I'll throw this out there, if you want to go the route where Piccolo survives, I'm fine with it. Because I could see Piccolo about to die, and then Chaozu's sacrifice actually means something, because Chaozu knows that if Piccolo dies, Kami dies, and then there's no Dragon Balls.
I think Piccolo would still survive this.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing, Chaozu can't be wished back, is the thing.
Right, so they'd still have to go the Namek route.
Yeah, even that, like, because, well, they have Dragon Balls on Earth, Chaozu's dead, he can't be wished back twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
do you think Tien would then try and tri-beam the Vegeta, or?
I would think he would only try to tri-beam Vegeta if. See, this is what makes this timeline real interesting, because by now we would say, "Oh, Vegeta goes Great Ape, everybody's screwed." But now we have to think about each individual character and how they might end up going.
Hmm. True.
So, I would think Yamcha, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, Yamcha's not going to survive a fight with Vegeta.
You want to say that Tien manages to survive? I know he would want a revenge against Vegeta.
Right. I would think he would do the revenge against Vegeta, right? He would do that. But he wouldn't tri-beam himself to death.
Yeah. So he'd just be
He
unconscious.
wouldn't. Yeah, basically similar thing that happens to Imperfect Cell, or Semi-Perfect Cell. Tien does that to Vegeta. And when Tien goes down, he's still alive. Yamcha takes a stand to defend his friend. All the while, Goku and Raditz are still gathering energy, so they can end this in one go.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Yamcha dies defending Tien.
And then Vegeta's gotta try and go for a Tien again, and then his hand gets sliced off by Krillin the Destructo Disc.
Oh, you know what? We could still do as Krillin had intended but missed in the canon. And instead of losing a hand, let's say Vegeta loses his tail.
But it doesn't really matter if he loses his tail.
Well, it would be like a status symbol of the Saiyan race, like kind of like with what TFS was saying. You're going to walk around the rest of your life a tailless freak.
Yeah.
You know, like, he takes some vanity to that.
Yeah.
Which makes Krillin the next target.
So, Yamcha and Chiaotzu unfortunately get killed, but we still have the 3. And I think by that time, Goku and Raditz come back.
Yeah, they're charged. They're ready to go. And the blast hits. Like, you know, we get the Gallic Gun Kamehameha beam struggle.
Well, it wouldn't be the Gallic. It would be sort of the double Kamehameha versus the
Yeah,
Gallic
that's what I was thinking. A double Kamehameha.
Yeah.
You know, like double Sunday Kamehameha sort of thing.
Yeah.
It would be that, but these beams would be struggling together. Vegeta would lose.
Yeah, and I think at this point, that's when Goku brings out the Hikari. And,
what pisses him off, though?
Well, no, you said basically he trained. I said he trained, and if you want to go with the Toriyama way of thinking, he's like, "Oh, just let Goku."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he
did plenty of Great Ape training, and him and Raditz argued a lot.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, Toriyama would definitely do that if he wants just to easy out. You know,
Right.
He's okay. I'm just gonna have Goku learn how to control the Hikari.
Yep. Horrifically speaking, Vegeta is. You know what? Vegeta is alive, right? They don't realize it at first because Vegeta is weak. And when they think, oh, you know what? It must have worked. Vegeta ends up knocking Krillin out. And that's what pisses off Goku.
Well, I'd still say that, honestly, I'd end the fight with Vegeta just falling unconscious.
Ooh, you know, okay, so the beam works.
The beam works, and it just...
So, how about this? If, like, you know, Goku has the Hikari, and he's charged his beam with the Hikari power.
Yeah.
Right? But the beam struggle is, they're starting to lose. And that's when, like, Raditz is saying, like, no, we're gonna lose this, you know, his cowardice is starting to come up, and that's when Goku kind of yells at him in the middle of the beam, like, don't give up! You have to push! Remember all the times that Vegeta was treating you like a lesser being! He treated all of us that way! It's like you said, we're the low-class warriors, and yet, look what we were able to do! I bet you Nappa and Vegeta never gave you the chance to grow! To be as powerful as you are now! Now's the time to prove it! And that's when both of them go Hikari. You know, Raditz finally gets the anger gandered up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finally gets the oomph because he's in a beam struggle with the guy that's treated him like shit for years.
Oh, yeah.
So, both of them go Hikari, and that's when Vegeta loses the beam struggle.
I mean, at this point, do you think Vegeta gets killed? But
well, I don't know. If a spirit bomb didn't kill him.
True.
I would think, you know, same thing would happen where he's weak.
Yeah, but instead of being able to, he's at a point where he's pretty much near death.
Yeah.
He can't even call his space pod as well.
Like, he tries to pull out the remote, but he drops it, and he's just, like, panting, bleeding on the ground, and Raditz walks over and puts his foot on Vegeta's hand as Vegeta's reaching out for it.
And just, yeah.
And that's where Goku's like, Raditz! And he looks at his brother, then looks down at Vegeta. He closes his eyes because he really wants to kill him.
But he's learned a few things on Earth that...
Yeah, he's learned a few things on Earth. So what he does is he gets off of Vegeta's hand and lightly with his foot calls Vegeta's space pod and just basically tells him, you're lucky that this planet has been merciful to me. Now I wish to show you the same mercy, Vegeta. Never come back to Earth.
God, that just...
Or you will answer to us.
You know, that defeat hit Vegeta right in his pride, but this would completely shatter it.
Yeah, this would shatter Vegeta's pride, because the lackey, one of his lackeys, became more powerful than the other lackey, and is now telling the prince what to do?
And he's not even killing it. He hasn't decided. He's letting Vegeta go.
Right, and so Vegeta, I would see him on the ground like he's protesting. They're like, really? You might as well kill me if you're going to have an attitude like that.
And basically,
if you let me go, I'll come back. And that's when Raditz would like put his foot on Vegeta's, like on the back of Vegeta's head, and be like, I could kill you in just a step. But Saiyans are not this way anymore.
Yeah, I think
it's time for you to grow up, Prince. Killing you, I could see him make a list. Like, killing you would be satisfying. To finally put an end to the monster that has caused me so much hell in my past. However, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to defeat you today. I wouldn't have been able to reach a new level. A level that you never thought possible, Prince. So, as a thank you, you get to live for now.
Yeah.
And when the pod gets there, like, he picks up Vegeta by the back of the armor and just kind of yucks him in there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the recovery bath when you get back to whatever Frieza planet you land on. Of course, you know, Vegeta's angry, but he's, you know, pride shattered.
Yeah. He's completely aghast at this entire thing, as well as what that power was, what the Uzaru power was in base.
Oh, yeah, he did not know why they suddenly just grew from 8,000 to 80,000 in a split second.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You know?
It's quite power, yeah. Now, and this, I think, is a good place to end it. For now.
With Vegeta heading to Frieza Planet 52 pickup.
Yep.
And
though he's going to be greeted
the Earth crew recovering.
But he's probably going to be greeted by a very unhappy Emperor.
Because now his Emperor's Saiyan unit went from 3 to 1 all of a sudden. Yep. And he didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason Frieza would be mad at Vegeta is he didn't get to kill the Saiyans. The Saiyans got themselves killed.
Yeah. But that's all for now.
That's it for now. Next time we go to Namek because we have a Chaozu to revive.
Yeah, it's Chaozu and a Yamcha. Oh, I mean, well, they can just... Actually, they could just wish Yamcha back right now.
They could, but they don't want to waste the one wish. Like... They gotta use the Namek Dragon Balls anyway.
Well, until then, see ya, everyone.